was announced today that EA has canceled an extraction shooter set in the Titanfall universe. Now, Titanfall, obviously beloved, right? People love Titanfall. One of EA's most, I guess, profitable game, game that is beloved by a lot of people. That is a live service game. They couldn't get Battlefield to work, but they got this game to work, and that's Apex Legends, which is based on the Titanfalls, right? On Titanfall universe, right? So Respawn made that game. They were making this extraction shooter set in Titanfall universe. This was basically going to be the next Titanfall or some type of spin-off similar to Apex Legend. Either way, EA saw what Bungie was doing and the response that Bungie was getting. And they said, nope.
Not today,
Nope.
Satan.
They noped out, bro. They took the news of how the shitty reception that Marathon was getting, like Google took Microsoft buying Bethesda. They were like, oh shit.
Message received.
Destiny, Bungie can't get people to be excited for this extraction shooter. Nah, we're good, fam. We are good. They noped the fuck out, bro. They noped out. They didn't want anything to do with it. They're like, we're not having.
I don't think EA would have a game that just looked like absolute dog shit like Marathon does, though.
But it doesn't matter how it looks if you don't think that you're going to be able to capture an audience.
Yeah.
Right. So what they saw was that the audience is more ingrained in the games they're playing than they probably thought. See, we talked about this on the last show, but when we were talking about Bungie, it was like Bungie looked at the extraction shooter genre and said, okay, there's no big dogs here, right? Like, Ubisoft tried and failed with Rainbow Six, right?
And the Division had like legs and
but the Division wasn't an extraction shooter. It was a regular game, but it had a mode or part of it if you went into a certain place, right?
Yeah.
It was like an extraction part. Well, you didn't extract, you extracted your shit, right? Like you extracted the items. But it wasn't a game based solely on that, right? It had a story mode, online, but the story mode that you played through. That's why, the Division was so good. Whereas this is just obviously a extraction shooter, and it's clear that that's what EA was making, thinking that they'll piggyback off the Titanfall universe. But dude, that's the fear that went through Bungie's failure, PlayStation's failure in fucking bringing excitement to the genre. Already spooked.
I mean, it's tough out in the streets, but you have to know when to pack up, right? I think this may have been a smart move. If you're already seeing, maybe your path, before you, why kind of take the hit if you don't have to?
Yeah, I think it's kind of weird that everyone's trying to force extraction shooters to be a mainstream type thing.
It's because small companies found success with it, bro.
Yeah. But it's like no one wants a big one though. Like no one wants the big extraction shooter. They're comfortable with, where these smaller studios are making them in the caliber that they're making them at. No one wants people are like people have already told EA, we want a new Titanfall game. We don't necessarily want something in the Titanfall universe. We want Titanfall 3. And instead of doing Titanfall 3, y'all decide to do an extraction shooter set in the Titanfall universe. Like, yeah. It's like the customer's telling you what they want. And like your EA customers, they typically buy when EA makes something good. I think the only thing that EA's fan base failed them on was the Dead Space remake. People were begging for that for so long, and then it came out and it kind of fell short sales wise. But I think people
Well,
would
Dragon
support.
Age also
Yeah, but
did not hit.
Guard, I think that was just due to the game not being up to standard. But Dead Space was actually, really well done. The
Yeah,
remake.
agreed.
But Veilguard wasn't necessarily a quality title that followed the other Dragon Quest. Was it Dragon Age games? I started to say Dragon Quest. So,
Dragon Quest.
but yeah, I mean, they should just stay in their lane and just do a new Titanfall game. What's so scary about doing a new Titanfall game? You just probably wasted 3 years on this one.
I think the reason why people are not staying in their lane is because, and what we're seeing is a separation of people who are passionately working on something and people who are trying that they're looking from an outside and
Yes.
seeing and
Trying to
saying
find
to
the thing.
themselves, well,
Yeah.
if you're making that money, I can step into that space and take that money, right? And it'll just be a given, or it'll be easy for me to do so. And then finding out when they hit that wall that it's not that simple. So I think that people that want to go ahead and grab a quick bag and thinking that they can go ahead and fill in that space, and take that, they're learning the hard way, and they should just stay in their lane, like you said, Farrell. Like,
Yeah.
if you got something going on, look at Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah.
CMoney was so annoyed that they didn't make a new Batman. And, considering how long it takes for them to put these games out, understandably so. So if you took 10 years and this is what you show up with instead of what people are expecting of you, because you think that you're going to fit into this modern situation that you're not necessarily a part of, and you're just going to go ahead and fit right in and get that bag like everybody,
Yeah.
like all the big dogs are getting, right? I mean, obviously they're mistaken. And
Yeah.
hopefully this is something that they can start catching on to, and we can stop making the same mistakes. But I think this is what we're seeing play out. We're seeing, the authentic, the people that are in that space because that's what they're doing and what they want to do. And the ones are watching from an outside saying, well, if they doing it, then I can do it too. Let me get that quick bag.
It's literally the
Yeah.
exact opposite of what Xbox is doing with its
Yeah, that's what I was
developers.
just about to say. Like, imagine if Xbox followed the same, followed trends, like when people were begging for them to make the same type of game Sony was making for a little bit. Like, where's your Last of Us, Xbox? What if Xbox actually chased that? Like,
Well, they didn't.
It
And
would
that's
be a
the
mess.
difference.
Like, yeah.
Like, their developers, that's what we're talking about, man. Their developers get the freedom, right,
Mhm.
to work on shit that they're actually passionate about. This is not a passion project. Marathon, this old ass fucking IP that they had, they scrapped entirely what it was. It turned it into extraction shooter. It's not a passion. This is a Hail Mary. They're hoping that they can get some type of little spark to get people interested and excited and hope that it can grow into a forest fire later and people are just obsessed with it. They're just hoping. This is not passion. We can see it. You can see it in the art design. It's boring. It's whack. It's not exciting. The level design, trash. The character design, trash. The only thing people like about their games is the gunplay. And sadly, times have changed, man. People know how to make shooting games now.
Yeah.
Bungie's shooting is not the only way. Halo has evolved past Bungie's old shooting. So even the new Halo feels better than what Bungie fucking did. Call of Duty, the GOAT. Come on, man. Fuck out of here. Don't come over here thinking that people give a shit about the fact that people enjoy shooting the guns. Then make a game that you just go to a shooting range. How about that, Bungie? Would that be excited for you? Make a shooting range game where you just shoot guns, right? No, man.
Gun
There's a
range
game that's
Everything
simulator.
supposed
else
to be
has to
rad.
be incorporated,
Yeah, there
right?
has
And
to
it
be
has to
something
be
exciting.
treated with the same quality and finesse. And I think you can't just focus on the one thing. It's I mean, like PlayStation, right? You can't focus on just that one type of game. You can't just do that one thing and think that that's going to be enough.
Agreed.
It's not anymore.
It's not. It's absolutely not. And I think this is just the proof of it. Now, there was another game. So back in March, right? Respawn. There was a report that says Respawn has seemingly canceled its unannounced first-person shooter multiplayer game. So that game got canceled, right? And then now this extraction shooter that was being worked on by Respawn. So this is another game that is now dead and gone, right? And with it being fucking, you know, Respawn, it's a problem. So Respawn put out a letter because EA has done a big firing. We'll talk about EA in a second, but just focusing on Respawn and what they did, they put this post
there we
out
go.
Here. So it says at Respawn, bold ideas, creative risk, and passionate storytelling have always defined who we are. That spirit has carried us through incredible highs and sometimes through difficult changes too. As we sharpen our focus for the future, we've made the decision to step away from 2 early stage incubation projects and make some targeted team adjustments across Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi. These decisions aren't easy, and we are deeply grateful to every teammate affected. Their creativity and contributions have helped build Respawn into what it is today. We're offering meaningful support to those impacted, including exploring new opportunities within EA. Looking ahead, our commitment to player first experiences remains unchanged. Innovation has always been at the core of Respawn's identity, and it continues to drive how we build the future, from evolving live experiences to crafting new worlds and stories. For Apex Legends, that means not just delivering competitive, innovative seasons, but expanding what Apex can be. While the team will continue to refine gameplay and bring new ideas to upcoming seasons, we're also investing in what's next for the franchise, exploring bold experiences that push the boundaries of competitive play while staying true to the spirit of competition, creativity, and integrity that our community expects. Within the Star Wars universe, we're excited to keep building new stories with the next chapter of the Star Wars Jedi series aiming to raise the bar again for storytelling and gameplay. To everyone who has been a part of our journey, past, present, and future, thank you for making Respawn what it is. We carry your legacy with us into everything we create next. So, unlike Marathon, Respawn actually is really good. And the fact that they had these games canceled, again, they're early stage incubation projects, right? So, one of them was there's 2 early stage incubation projects. One of them was a first person shooter of some type, and the other one was this extraction shooter. And again, EA reading the room, right? Reading the room real good, saying, you know what? I don't think extraction shooters are going to be a thing. I don't think they're going to be a thing outside of the people who are already dominated, right? That's like today trying to say, you know what, let's go make another hero shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to happen. Marvel Rivals, the only reason outside of it being a good game is the fact that it has the Marvel IP, right? You eliminate the Marvel IP, nobody cares about Marvel Rivals again, right? Turn it into DC Rivals, nobody cares about it, right? Marvel Rivals, you're good. So it's just what it is, right? They did see that, the writing's on the wall. No one is looking for this. No one is excited for this. But like when you read that, it may sound like it's you know, maybe not that many because they didn't put what it is. The damning part is seeing the actual information. So World 64 put this together here. or I guess it's IGN article, but he quoted it. It says EA cuts around 300 roles, right? So 300, and EA is big, right? Including roughly 100 at Respawn. So says wider cuts largely impacted EA's experiences team, which includes groups such as EA's fan care team and various others working on customer support and marketing. So for most of EA, it's really like non-essentials, right? They got cut. On the rest, though, the roughly 100 jobs impacted at Respawn included individuals in development, publishing, and QA workers on Apex Legends, as well as smaller groups of individuals working on the Jedi team and 2 canceled incubation projects. So there was somebody that I saw who quote tweeted this, I guess, who worked on it and worked on one of these things, but now that it canceled, he was like, "Oh man, it sucks." He's been with them for 5 years, 4 years in the leadership position, and he just has signed on a game that he thought would give at least 5 years of job security.
Yeah.
And so it's obviously early. Like Space Shot was kind of saying in there, how much was done. I think the point is that clearly not a lot was done, but the point is they were trying to work on something new. And what did this do? This literally made them go back and say, you know what, we're going to focus on Apex Legends and Star Wars, which is what we don't want to have happen, right?
Yeah.
Like we don't want that, right? We want them to be still looking at ways to do different things. Respawn is a talented group, but what we don't want them is to chase trends.
That's the thing.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
if that's what you're going to be doing, then take a step back. Also, sometimes you need to eliminate the risk, right? To be able to make it to the next step. So if moving forward was going to go ahead and be to essentially their detriment, like in a bigger stage, right? Then they made the right call, right? Which is obviously why they went ahead and did that. When you hear about somebody feeling like they were going to have job security for the next 5 years, yes, obviously, that's sad to hear. But at the end of the day, the fact that they are smart enough to take a step back and make this decision before they're in a situation, like forget who it was that we were just talking about.
Marathon?
Ubisoft. Yes,
No,
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
Like when before you get to that point where it's from desperation, I mean, you have to go ahead and make the moves early on.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, this is clearly EA reading the room, and it's smart.
Yeah,
right? This is a smart move for them. They should not be working on an extraction shooter. No one should who's not already in the game or who's already deep enough into it that they've already built traction. Marathon needs to be put to bed. It's not it. Nobody's excited for that shit. Arc Raiders, that shit looks dope. So,
and I think this is also, a way of them understand, like they're not bringing anything special to the table. If they were confident in what they were going ahead and they were making, then they would have moved forward with it. There's also the type of confidence, that they had with Concord, right? Obviously, that's not the confidence you want to go ahead and move forward with. And you have to be smart enough to differentiate the two. So the fact that they know and they're self-aware, this is the path that we're going to end up in because of what the choices that we're making and what we're actually doing and what we're bringing to the table to the players. I mean, good on them.
Agreed. Now EA again, EA has 300 roles, so there's 200 coming out of EA. Again, that looks, when we look at what it is, it does look like they're more just getting rid of like their extra shit, right? Like shit that they put in place that is not like the biggest deal. Not that it doesn't suck for those people, but like it's Respawn the one that really hurts. And the fact that they're getting rid of 100 people, right? Like, I don't know how many people are at Respawn. Do we have an idea? Do we have like a roundabout count? How
I don't
many
know.
people work? Because I feel like 200 is the number. I feel like somewhere around 200 people total. So losing 100 people would be significant. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
It would be like a really big deal.
About 1,000 employees, somewhere between 500 and 1,000.
Respawn?
Yeah, that's what it says on the LinkedIn page.
Jesus.
Between 500 and
Okay.
1,000.
Well, the fuck? There's a lot of fucking people.
It's a big
So
chunk.
about 10% of the workforce got cut at Respawn.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. I mean, listen, we know EA put a lot of hope in Respawn, right? Respawn is the thing that kind of hit it big for them. So, like, I get it. Vincent Pala is like basically the dude in charge over there right now, for the most part, as far as the games are concerned. So they're really trusting him. I know he's in charge of Battlefield. Like, that's their biggest shit right now that they're trying to fucking make happen. So I mean, I guess they just kept letting him grow. That's a lot. That's a lot of people to have over there. You know, pretty insignificant now when you think about how many people they have versus how much were lost. But yeah, listen, for me, I think this is a smart move. Get rid of. I mean, it's sad for the people, but like,
Yeah, it is. But
don't
you
make the
you got to
games
clean
that
the
are-
house.
Yeah, you got to get rid of if you're not
Maintenance.
going to make those games, and the people you had working on the games, the only reason you had them was because you thought they were going to work on these other games. I mean, time to go. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's business.
That is
Sucks, but it is.
100%. We got our homie Karma God 91. My dude,
What's
thank you, my brother, for
good?
being here.
Thank
man.
you,
Thank you
love.
for that too. Our super chat says now PlayStation shall know pain. Almighty push, yo. The truth. It's the truth. I mean, again, to be clear, we're talking, like, I think everybody knows when they're saying this stuff, they're talking about PlayStation first party, right? Like, that's the pain. Their first party studios are the ones in pain. It's whether or not it makes sense for them to even keep these first party studios. They're knowing pain because they have to spend money on these first party studios who are not delivering. And that's where the real pain comes from. Because as they see Xbox succeed on their platform where they can't succeed anymore, that's a pretty damning situation.
It is. It is. But you have to leave the creative process. You kind of guide the ship, but you have to allow them to do their thing, right? Because that's what they do. So for them to kind of force the hand in the way that they've been stepping in, it shows, right? It's reflecting in the games, and I mean that's what's caused the problems.
Agreed. I agree 100%. We do have one thing right here that we have to get. That's right. It's our motherfucking homie Spartan66.
Yo!
Went ahead and gifted an on point for gaming
Let's
membership,
go.
man. Thank you so much, my brother.
Appreciate
you so much, dude. Very, very kind of you, man. Y'all know what to do.
Tell them, baby.
Put the motherfucking welcome to the family emoji in the chat. Welcome our newest member, man. We appreciate you so very much. And of course, that member is our boy, Duke Togo.
Let's go.
Shout out to the homie. Thank you, my brother,
Duke,
for being here, man.
welcome. Spartan661. Thank you so
Spartan,
much.
Man. Appreciate you, my homie. Thank you so much, man. Very
Let's
kind
go.
of you, very kind of you.